What's up, Conquer community? Coach Chris here with this week's Technique Tuesday. Today, we're going to be talking about cycling the dumbbell. So when we talk about cycling a dumbbell, it's important, and the word that comes to mind is efficiency. We want to be efficient with both our movement and with time. So with both the tips that we're going to go through today, I want you to keep those ideas in mind. So we're going to start off talking about transitioning that dumbbell from overhead or out in that rack position back down to the ground. And now with this, there's two things that I want to kind of address. And the first is when we are coming down either from that overhead position or from out front in a front rack, we need to think about keeping that dumbbell in close to the body and not sending it out away from us. The further away from our body we go, the more work we are doing, the less efficient that movement is. And at the end of it all, the more time spent doing work that we shouldn't be doing. So we want to think about, especially when we are dropping down from overhead, elbow leads, we bring it into the body to then drop to the floor. We don't want to send it out and then try to pull it back. So that's the first tip. Same thing also with the front rack. We want to make sure that we are bringing it back down in front of us, and again, we're not sending it out away from us. Now the second thing, working and talking about that transition, is when we are working from either, again, that overhead from a snatch or out in front from a clean, is when we are bringing that dumbbell back down to the floor, as opposed to just handing that dumbbell off to the other hand, or switching at the floor. We want to get comfortable with this idea of almost dropping our dumbbell down. As we are dropping it, we are dropping and catching with that opposite arm. So what it should look like is if I'm coming here, it drops, and as it's dropping, I catch with the other hand to then bring it nice and controlled down to the floor. Now this is gonna save us time. It is a bit of a skill, so definitely something to work on. Nice easy way to start building that in is really just getting comfortable, dropping that dumbbell back and forth. But the reason why this is so important, and again, bringing that dumbbell down, dropping and catching, is because if we find ourselves, number one, trying to switch it in our hands, it can get awkward, clunky, we'll lose some time, we might even drop a dumbbell. But if we bring it back down to the floor and try to switch hands there, what I've seen is that people tend to lose tension at the bottom. So when they go to pick up that dumbbell, the other hand, we almost come up into that arch position as we pull. Again, not efficient, not a good way to be performing the movement, especially if it's over a bit of time. So getting comfortable with the idea that as we drop, we let go, spear it with the other hand, catch it, lower to the floor, go about our next rep, and then same thing, repeat on the other side. So guys, those are my 2-3 tips that I have for you. Give it a try, work on it. Again, it's a skill. But if you have any questions, you guys leave a comment, and we look forward to kind of giving you more tips in the future.